going to say, let me know what your top 10 albums are. But no, consider yourself tagged. I don't care who you are, if you're watching this, consider yourself tagged. I want to see your response to this.
Well then, Ben Simpson, challenge accepted. So hello everyone, and yes, welcome back to another video. Now that's right, today I'm responding to Ben Simpson. At the end of Ben Simpson's last video, he called everyone out who was watching it, saying it's a thread thing that's going on. It really is going on Facebook, but it's kind of carrying on over to YouTube now. And he called everyone out who was watching it to make a response, to carry it on. And I'm going to do that, Ben, because I've got no other ideas for videos at the minute. And I've got new editing software. I've got an Apple Mac now, so I wanted to try out the new editing software I've got on that. So I thought this would be a good topic for me to just test the grounds out on it. I want to get better with my editing. I'm going to try and keep this video relatively simple because it's new editing software. I'm not going to go too high-techy with it just yet. So I'm going to keep the videos simple for a little bit longer before the editing hopefully improves. But yeah, so the idea of the topic, or the idea of this series, is to pick the 10 most important records in your collection and show them. So each one of these records has different reasoning behind it. Like, there's a couple records in here which I've got, they're important to me because they're very rare. And I'm very proud and very happy to own them. A couple of them were gifts. A couple of them have some nice stories behind them. A couple of them are here purely for sentimentality reasons. Is that a word? I'm pretty sure it is. So anyway, I've got 10 records here. I'm also going to apologise about my hay fever quickly. It's really bad at the minute because we've got nice weather here in the UK. It's like, yay, we got nice weather. I can really enjoy it. Not. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get started with the list. So these aren't really in any particular order. Not sure if you're meant to put them in an order, but anyway, here we go. So one of my 10 most important records is New by Paul McCartney. Why? Because this is the first album which I ever got really excited for on release. I got into music about 2010. I was never really into music when I was young, or really young. About 2010, so I would have been about 11, 12. Really started getting into music. But you know, it was a lot of old groups, of course. So there weren't any new albums coming out, which I really look forward to. I was about for Kiss on the Bottom, from Paul McCartney. But because it was an American songbook album, very jazzy, I wasn't as hyped up about that one. I've come to appreciate it a lot, and I really did like it when it came out, actually, but I didn't go buy it on release date. I didn't order the record till like a year later. I just bought the CD when it came out, so I wasn't like hyped for that one. And yeah, in terms of musicians, there wasn't, you know, I didn't like enough musicians back then to really appreciate the albums that were coming out. But this was the first one, all of a sudden 2013. New from Paul McCartney. Got announced. I loved the single that was released. I was all over it. I pre-ordered the CD. I got 2 copies of the vinyl, one to open and one to keep sealed, which was a bit silly because this has not gone up in value, of course. I bought the deluxe CD. I absolutely fell in love with this album. As time's gone on, I've started to see that it wasn't quite as amazing as I thought it was when it came out. Because when it came out, I got so caught up in it. I thought it was incredible. But it is a really solid album, there's no doubt. But this one will always hold a special place in my heart because it was the first album I ever experienced serious excitement for in terms of release that wasn't a reissue. It was a brand new album which I was really excited for. There's been a few more albums since this one which I've been really excited for. And I hope to get another Paul McCartney one I can be really excited for soon. I am excited for the reissues, but a proper studio album will be better. This one's going to come as no surprise to people. This is Complete Madness. So yeah, you can find this in probably every pound bin in the UK and every charity shop. But this was my dad's exact copy. He used to take this to clubs with him. He used to take this around his friends' houses. And this is what got me into music, not the Beatles. Everyone probably thinks it's the Beatles, but it weren't the Beatles. It was Madness. This was the first group I really got into. My dad put all of their hits on my phone. I used to play this record a lot when I was younger. it's just gone through, my dad's hands and now mine, and hopefully one day I'll be able to hand it down to possibly a child of my own, and it'll be fantastic. It'll be a nice little family heirloom, like You Gotta Like Madness, or You're Just Out of Our Family. Goodbye. But it's just got so much sentiment. I've got so much sentimental feelings towards this album. I love every song on here. It's just pure joy to listen to, and I have such great memories with this album. With my dad and the rest of my family. My mum and sister, they like Madness too. I've never met a person who doesn't like Madness, I'll say that. So yeah. So from the album that got me into music to the album that got me into collecting records, this one's very important to me. Very important, because I think without this album, I'm not sure I would have collected records to the scale that I do. And that is my original mono copy of A Hard Day's Night. Yeah, when after the Madness craze, I then got into the Beatles. And again, it started off on my phone, just greatest hits. Started buying their albums on CD, and that was all fun. I was just enjoying the music. Then my dad pulled a few Beatle records out of the loft. He said, "Hey, I've got some Beatle records in the loft." So he went and got them, pulled them down. Oh my god. This one here, I mean, I got an 80s pressing of Sgt. Pepper. I did get an original Beatles for sale. I got the Beatles 20 Greatest Hits. What was the other one? There was another one. Can't remember what it was now. It was Paul McCartney Giving My Regards to Broad Street. We'll forget about that one. And this one, and for some reason this one really hit me, because I really love this album. I think just holding it and feeling it is old. You can see the nice, you can see some crinkles in the paper around the side. You've got the fold over corners. The record was really heavy, felt old. The bag sleeve was old. Everything about it just felt really unique and special. And there was something about it when I had it. First time I held it in my hands, it was incredible. It was just like, this is something special. I need to get more of these. That's what I did. I went and got Let It Be next, and then many other Beatle records followed, and then many solo Beatle records, and then many other artists, and here we are today. But this is kind of the record which started my collection, which also came from my dad, and I believe before that my nan. So again, another record that's kind of coming through the family, which is really nice, and I will never ever get rid of this. With me forever. Okay, next one is a solo Beatle one. This is Paul Is Alive. And this one is really special to me because it was a gift. I've met some wonderful people here in the VC, such as you, Ben, such as Ross Goodall, such as me, Mr. Mayo, Joe. So many fantastic people. I can't even name everyone because literally there's hundreds of people. Not only people who make videos, but I've got some fantastic commenters here on my videos, which always, mean the world to me. I'm so lucky to have met all of you people. You're all fantastic. And again, without YouTube and without this channel, I wouldn't have met probably all of you. I wouldn't have thought. Maybe a couple of you on the swing. Maybe I would have caught one of your videos. But, there's so many fantastic people who I've met here in the VC. But, of course, someone very special is Vinyl Collector James. Me and him have become very, very good friends, very close friends. We talk a lot, and he's just a fantastic, swell guy. Fantastic. We're always helping each other out. I mean, he does it more for me, obviously, because he's a 10 out of 10 bloke. I'm not going to lie. But, I try to help him out when I can as well. I've got, like, a little Star Wars item ready to go to him, and I'm always sending him boxes, but he sends me a lot of boxes. And he's, of course, just helped me out with Record Store Day 2018. Fantastic guy. But, of course, it's not about that. We're just great friends, me and him. He's a top bloke. Again, if you haven't checked his channel out, 'cause he also makes fantastic videos, there's a link in the description to his channel, so check it out. But this was one of the first things he sent me, and it was a Christmas present in, I think 2014. And now, if I'm correct, I haven't opened this, pre-video. I think he left me a Christmas note, and I kept it with the record. I did. Look at that. See if it's got the year on here. 2014. It does have the year on it. Look at that. So, Christmas present from James, 2014. Very nice little letter he wrote me. See, I keep everything from you, James. And I think this record doesn't only just represent what good friends me and James have become, but just represent what good friends I've met here on this channel. I'm not going to say VC because I don't generally believe in the VC anymore. But here on YouTube and other vinyl collectors here on YouTube, there's just great friendships to be made. I think me and James are actually a very good example of that. And that record sums it all up for me. So it's a very important record to me. Okay, next one. I'm holding up Led Zeppelin 2. Now, this is not my original Plum Led Zeppelin, nor is it my reissue, like the new one with the bonus stuff. This is my reissue from the early 70s of Led Zeppelin 2. Why am I holding this one up over the other two? Because the other two are far superior. This was my first Led Zeppelin record. Oh, no, it wasn't actually. It wasn't. I did go in order with Led Zeppelin. I bought the first album. Generally wasn't blown away by it. I thought it was good. I like it a lot more now, today. But when I got it, I wasn't blown away. This one, I brought this home from Spitalfields Record Fair in London. And I remember putting it on my turntable. I think I come home with like 20 records that day. It was like the first or second one I played. I put it on my turntable and instantly fell in love with it. And I thought it was a perfection album. Every song on it was gold. Incredible. And I still feel that way about it today, roughly. I mean, it's easily still in my top 25 albums, probably. It is a gold dust record. It's incredible. But it's one of those albums where I just remember being so happy the first time I listened to it. As soon as it touched my turntable, just instant love. And I have such fond memories of listening to it for the first time. And even today when I still put it on occasionally, I have a great time with it. It's a great record. Yeah, good memories with that one. Okay, the nose is going. I do have a hanky here somewhere. Blah, blah, blah. The next one's pretty interesting because it kind of bounces off what Ben said in his video a bit. Oh, sorry about that, people. That was not good. I will be able to edit that out eventually. I probably could do it now, but I'm still getting used to the editing. Maybe I did edit it out. Maybe I did. So Ben's very big into his horror soundtracks at the minute. I don't mind some horror soundtracks, but they're not really my thing. But I do love soundtracks in general, especially to films that I love. Films that I relate to. For example, I love putting on a Star Wars soundtrack because I've grown up with them films. I've known them my whole life. I get so much enjoyment from those films. I can put every piece to every scene in the Star Wars films. It's great. So when I'm listening to it, I can literally visualise the scenes in my head. You know, there's a lot of other great soundtracks which I've been into lately, like Great Showman, La La Land. And yeah, I really, really enjoy my soundtracks. But this was the first one I bought on vinyl in terms of a new film series. It is a TV series. And this is kind of what got my soundtrack collection started off, and I love my soundtrack collection. So it's the soundtrack to Season 4 of Game of Thrones. Now, I'm just going to touch on Game of Thrones quickly and say it's amazing. If you haven't checked it out, you've got to check it out. It's fantastic. It's the best series going. There's no argument to be had there, I'm sorry. But, funny joking. But yeah, it's incredible. Getting this record was fantastic. I remember being so overjoyed with it. Hearing the music was incredible. Playing it was fantastic. Also, the fact it was on a colour vinyl. This is one of my first colour vinyls. Also has a very low number as well. Just everything about it was exciting. Really got me into the idea of collecting soundtracks. Because a lot of soundtracks are like that. Cool colours, numbers. And they're just so much fun to collect. And they are. Whoa, my hair went bad then. They are really fun to listen to as well. Especially when you get a series or a movie that you love. Okay, before we do the next one, I'm just going to push the door too. Because Buzzer's come alive and I can hear him chirping away. So we'll try to keep him as quiet as we can. Okay, so what we got? We got 4 to go. 4 to go. Next one up is pure me showing off. This is a rare record. And it's important to me because it's something which I never thought I'd get. And it just shows with a lot of patience, it will pay off. I got into collecting Paul McCartney records. Hint, it's a Paul McCartney one. I got into collecting Paul McCartney records in 2011, it must have been. Maybe 2012. And I only got this. Was it late? It must have been, yeah, late 2017. It wouldn't have been in 2018. Very late 2017. I reckon November time. So it's taken me, you know, what's that? 4, 5, 6. It's probably 6, 7 years to get this record. Because it's so rare. And it did cost me a bit, I'm not going to lie. But I'm not going to get into the price on here. But it's just so amazing to own it finally. It's taken me a while to get it. Being such a big Paul McCartney collection. I love being a completist. I love collecting Paul McCartney. This is the Fireman Rushes. For those who know about Paul McCartney, know about this album. If you don't, it's basically an album which he done with a guy called Youth, and neither of their names are on it. It's a very indie project. It's one where they didn't want their names on it. So yeah, it's just a little underground project he done. Came out in '99, very limited release on vinyl, and it's so rare because it's never been reissued. Barely anyone knows about it. And this is a nice sealed copy, original UK. Very happy to have it. So yeah, that's one which shows it's important to me because it shows that patient, you'll get it. There you go. Okay, this one's important to me because it started off my favourite collection. It's the only collection I put above my Paul McCartney collection, which I loved doing. It's not quite as valuable as my Paul McCartney collection, but I just enjoyed collecting this artist's records so much. Eric Clapton. Why am I holding up my original Unplugged? Because this is the one that started it. I had a few Eric Clapton records. I had 461 Ocean Boulevard. I had Backless. I had his self-titled. And I had Journeyman, I think. And maybe like the Cream of Clapton compilation. A couple others. And then I bought this, which of course is a tad rare, 92. It's not super rare. I mean, there's reissues of it now as well. But you can get this for about £15, I reckon. And it just got me started on Clapton like not anything. It was just incredible. I know some people struggle to get into Clapton. Buy this and you'll understand why he's so loved. And then you might even end up like me, where you go, wow, this is so good. I want everything. Because that's what I've done. I've literally got all his studio albums, pretty much all of his compilations, all his live albums. I've got the new one, Life in 12 Bars, on pre-order. I can't wait. I've got coming from my, fantastic friend, vinyl collector James. I've got the complete Clapton box coming. And the reissue of Rush, even though I've got an original, but I've got, it's going to be great to hear those songs reissued. This is the album which got me started on my favourite collection, so it is very important to me. Okay, so the last two are actually kind of downers, I'm not going to lie. This one only just made my 10 most important, because I probably could find something a bit more important than this, but in the heat of the moment, I thought this would be a good one to talk about. And that's Black Star by David Bowie. I remember ordering this. I was talking to, again, vinyl collector James. You're getting a lot of shout outs today, bud. I was talking to him the night before Bowie unfortunately passed away. And James was showing me his copy. And we listened to a song together and I got quite excited. I was a bit like, oh yeah, that's pretty good. I like it. So I went and ordered myself a copy on Amazon. Woke up next morning, heard the news. It was awful. And saw that my vinyl got delayed. I didn't get this till about 2 weeks later because everyone was ordering it, which was weird. I still think I should have got mine, a couple of days later, because I ordered it obviously before he passed, before the sales went through the roof. But anyway, I had to wait 2 weeks. No biggie. Got it. I just remember playing it for the first time, just being so emotional. I've never been like that with a record. It was a very weird experience. I'm not going to lie, I'm not the most emotional person in terms of things like that. I'm a man. But I remember putting it on and sitting there just thinking, wow, this is really getting to me. It's like you can feel it really tugging at the heartstrings. Not only that, it's a fantastic album as well, and I loved having it. I loved looking through the books, seeing these pictures of Bowie, in his final couple months. I'm sure those photos were only taken a month before he died or something. So you're sitting there and you're just going, wow, this is a train wreck of emotions, this album. And hearing it on vinyl as well, it's incredible. But yeah, Black Star, again, very not fond of memories. I've got very good memories of it doing what Bowie intended it to do, because I believe he knew that he was dying and he knew what he was writing in those lyrics. I'm very confident. Okay, so the last one up, which I have to show, again, very common record. You'll find this in the pound bins all over the UK and in charity shops. Best of Blondie. Blondie is a band which I love. I wouldn't say they're one of my very, very favourites, like top 10 worthy, but they'd probably make my top 20. They're a really good band. I really enjoy them. This copy, this exact record here, me and my granddad before he passed away, it's the one time me and him really got into music together. When we're around my nan's house, my nan dominates the music system with her music. It's either Cliff Richard or ABBA. I'm fine with ABBA, but nothing else got played around my nan's. But occasionally my granddad would be allowed his hands on the turntable. It was very rare. And whenever I was around, he'd always put Blondie on. And it was just like, it's really what got me into Blondie. I love, and it's unfortunate that I really got into collecting Blondie after he passed away, because I think he really would have loved to have seen my Blondie collection. But, yeah, I have very fond memories of him putting Blondie on, and me and him just talking about music, as in, like, 70s acts and whatnot. And yeah, I mean, I've never shared this with anyone, and I wasn't planning on sharing it here on YouTube, but I guess I will now. In his final moments, he went into a hospice because we all knew that, he didn't have long left at all. So we put him in a hospice, trying to make him comfy and whatnot. And I brought my Blondie CD in, and we had it quiet, obviously, very quiet. But it was playing in the background. It was quite nice. It was a nice little moment. So listening to Blondie, especially their hits, especially, these hits, not like some of their more newer stuff. Listening to this Blondie, it just reminds me of my granddad, which is why this is an important record to me. But anyway, that's it for this video, guys. Wow, we got a bit emotional at the end there. But anyway, those are the 10 most important records in my collection. But of course, you have to nominate someone to do this. So yeah, I've got to nominate someone now. I'm not going to nominate everyone. I'm gonna chuck this at one person. I'm going to chuck it at, surprise, surprise, Vinyl Collector James. Why am I doing a Vinyl Collector James? Number one, because he's been on a roll with making videos lately. I know you've already made a list on Facebook, James, but you've been doing well with the videos lately, so I'm going to make sure you keep at the videos. So, yeah, Vinyl Collector James, I want to see a video of you showing your 10 most important records in your collection. Have fun, bud. Throwing you in it. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys, as always. I hope the editing's turned out alright. Not that I do much editing, but, there will be more editing. But anyway, yeah, links in the description to Vinyl Collector James's channel, my other channel. My Instagram and Twitter will also be down there as well if you want to check that out. But anyway, that is it for this video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please hit that subscribe button, like the video, leave a message, and I'll see you guys next time for another video.